the question is, why do devs put cutscenes in their trailer? And Derek is hypothesizing that it's because they make the trailers for themselves and not the community. The community wants to see gameplay. So here's the deal. You're smart. Derek is smart. I'm smart. The people who watch our trailers magically, though, are all morons. Because what they want to do is they want to compare whatever they see in there graphically to some other game they're playing. Now, this isn't like, there's a whole bunch of games like puzzle games and stuff they don't do this to, but like especially first-person shooters like the stuff I make, we juice up the trailers a little bit, right? Like so even Left 4 Dead, and like the DLC trailers in particular, which I did a lot of work on. Like you have Bill with his arms spread apart shooting birds, right? We can't do that in the game. We do that in there because it looks cool, because people are looking at that and comparing it to what they're playing, right? So in a trailer, in a cutscene, often you have a higher res model, you often have higher res assets, you have lighting you're controlling, you have all the scene that you're controlling perfectly, you have facial animation, you have all of this stuff going on, and when you see that, you're like, oh my God, that's great. And then you look at, whatever game you're playing, no matter how nice of a game it is, you're like, oh, it's not as nice as that. And so that creates this thing where, I remember like for Left 4 Dead, people are actually playing Left 4 Dead. I'll get the games exactly wrong maybe, but it was like I think Dead Island was coming out. People were like, oh, it's such a better game. Your game's crap. Look at that game. And they had the trailer of the guy falling through the window, and oh my God. Like, right, the game was nothing like that. It was nothing like that. But oh my God, the hate we got. The hate we got from Payday. Oh my God, Payday's so much better. Look at this. You could do, like, every single game I've worked on, except for Portal and Portal 2, every other single game I've worked on is somebody's told me how crappy the game is because they're looking at some trailer of another game that is gonna solve all the world's problems and be the greatest thing ever, and it's always a cutscene and it's always bullshit. And so maybe that is a little bit for ourselves, but the devs know that that's the comparison being made all the time, that the random unwashed masses compare the cutscene graphics and scene quality to the game that they're playing, and they'll tell you it sucks. Now, clearly Left 4 Dead didn't suck. Clearly TF2 doesn't suck, right? But these are two games that I worked on that would just get hate over how much better other games were, and I can barely remember the titles of those other games because nobody plays them anymore. Well, they still play those games because those games are actually good, and we worked on those things that mattered. And the trailers were selling you a hot mess often. And I think, I think back to kind of what marketing is. And marketing is just letting people know what they're buying. Now, sometimes in a trailer, you do things that are heightened because you want to have that over-the-top feeling of it. I get that. But I'm a big fan of we just put gameplay in, we put stuff in, we may put jokes in, whatever. But that's the way to start it, and that's the way to do it for us. But I get why people do put those cutscenes in, because, man, seriously, the hate you get because people compare to those cutscene shots and trailers.